Intro. Join me today as I'll take you on a special bike ride through San Francisco as we explore the Bay Area. I'm going to just bike around and we'll see what we see. First magical thing is we have this Google bike here. I am not sure why this is here, but let's put it to use. Yeah, that's what this is for. I'm in downtown San Francisco. It's a Saturday, but it is pretty quiet right now. Don't see that much happening, not what you would expect in a major American city, but let's go and see what there is to see. Step one, take bike attachment here and screw on the camera. My camera is now happily attached to the bike, and let's go for a ride. This is Market Street, and Market Street has surprisingly no markets anymore because people kept on robbing the markets. The way it works in San Francisco for a while was you could go up and you could just steal whatever you wanted as long as it was under $1,000. Hi, cable car. I have almost never ridden on a cable car in many decades now. And the reason is because only tourists go on cable cars. If I had never seen a cable car, I probably would go on one, because it does look kind of fun. Today is game day. Game day means that people will be selling game day swag. Here's the swag. I'm generally not a sports fan. This is a beautiful space that opens up. This is the Embarcadero, and over there is the ferry building. Wait a second. Over there is the ferry building. That looks like a sculpture from Burning Man. Here's a gigantic see-through sculpture showing female parts. Crossing time over at the ferry building. I gotta get through over this in 2 seconds. 2. I think I missed it. Oh, hi trolley. Now this is not a cable car, this is a trolley. These electric trolleys are fairly cool because what they do is they can somewhat connect this part to some of the hilly regions, but we're not gonna go there. We're gonna go towards where the water is. Driverless car. There was a Waymo. Here's a Tesla. Let's keep on going. Hey look, we got some people riding electric scooters. Now this is one of the coolest bike rides in the Bay Area because you get to go along the coastline, which is awesome. But probably a good bet that the majority of people here are visiting. Oh man, let's explore over here, see if there's anything good. I love these little side piers you can go on because there's clearly some scenery to be seen here along the wharf. You got some people fishing, you got some ferry boats. Oh yeah, we're gonna take one of those ferry boats later. Those are fun. The reason the ferry boat is fun is that you can take one of these with your bike across the bay and you can see some cool things like the bridge. There it is. There is the Bay Bridge in all its glory, and the Port of Oakland in all its glory. So yeah, I think we should probably go on that a little bit later. That's going to be fun. And to our left is of course the ferry building again, the gorgeous Port of San Francisco. And I think that's a pretty good shot, yeah, of the downtown area. Yep, that could be in my opening reel. Let's go over to the ferry building, see if there's anything worth. Generally very overpriced, organic. It's a temple of offerings. You have to make a charitable and spirited contribution to the gods of organic food and local cuisine to support. I think ironically what you're supporting are rich people who decided to leave the city life and buy farms. That's how they understand how to do their marketing. These are a bunch of ferries that go to different locations like Sausalito, Angel Island, Tiburon. Tiburon significa shark in Espanol. I think they named a town after shark, which is somewhat normal. You got your oysters. You got lines. You got lines of people looking to eat oysters. Not that great. I promise you. It's probably more of the spectacle of just doing something. Let's see if they'll have me indoors. We're inside the ferry building now, and there's a little bit more than one would expect. Seems like the most popular thing these days. Empanadas. You gotta get your empanadas, yeah? El porteño. Porteño significa alguien que habita en Buenos Aires. So porteño means somebody who lives in Buenos Aires. Now, the ferry building itself it's actually quite gorgeous, as you can see. It's got this, I don't know, this like Belle Epoque architecture with exposed cast iron beams and glass, sort of like the Eiffel Tower look. Here's one. Here's a place where I can overspend some money. Let's see, Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle! I actually do like Blue Bottle. It is a distinctive brand. They do make pretty good coffee. What? There's a new ice cream shop. that is the line for ice cream. I'm not feeling that excited about ice cream, but let's just take a look and see what the experience of waiting in line would be like. Yes, it would be like this. About every year or two, there's a classic. Here's Dandelion Chocolate. This is a local chocolatier based out here in San Francisco. They've got, I think they got like a factory that's over in the Mission, which is pretty cool. Small batch. Small batch means that they're unable to scale, right? Enough of this ferry building nonsense. Let's go out again and explore. Exploring. That side is pretty well understood. Let's go over to the other side. We don't want to go north along this promenade, and the reason you don't want to go north is because that's where all the tourists go. We want to go south. We want to go south towards where the locals go. Let's see what is south of us here in San Francisco. Okie dokie. So yeah, definitely a Giants game today. The buildings along this side are actually pretty classic. I suppose they represent the city. No, I meant the buildings on this side. Yes. No, focus. Yes. Those buildings over there. Those buildings are the one we want. But there's some trouble here. Getting a citation. Animal care and control. Whoa. Did you see that? There's like a special type of law enforcement for animals now. I hope they mean the person and not the actual dog. Let's see. I got it. Let's continue going. There's nothing to see there, I think. This section of San Francisco is pretty. The Gap was a clothing brand started by a Berkeley graduate that got really smart and figured out how to sell clothing for the masses, take care of everyone's fashion problems, yeah? Hey, wow, those are rad. What is that, a standing bike? Wow, hey, you too. I like that. I like how in San Francisco you can find entrepreneurs in transportation, micro transportation. I've never seen bikes like that before. I've seen cars like this before. Cybertruck. Yeah, these are common now. Everyone's got a Cybertruck. Wow. Back to the story of Gap. This is the Gap building. Gap is the home to Gap, Old Navy. Wow. Gap is home to 3 brands. They've got Banana Republic. No, wait, let's just go through all of them. GAP. And here we got Banana Republic. Banana Republic, which is not a very politically correct word these days. We got Old Navy as opposed to the New Navy. Hey, look, it's Google. Google, Spear Street entrance. No, Old Navy targets budget. The Gap is sort of midline, and Banana Republic targets your upper class. I've been wearing more Banana Republic these days, although that just really makes me feel kind of like my taste for clothing didn't evolve past college, because that's when all the preppies used to wear Banana Republic. Let's get back to the water. I've just repositioned my camera to see if this gives me a better angle, and I think it actually does. Perfect. I am cruising and bruising. Yeah, this makes a good montage. Montage filming. Need to be doing. So let's take a look and walk around.
What guys getting?
Up ahead. Giants game. Wait, I have a hat. I didn't pay 30 bucks for it. I only paid like Costco prices to get to their cars. It's kind of ridiculous. For refreshments. Oh wow, you can hear the uproar and the fireworks up ahead. The uproarious fireworks. Fireworks over Giant Stadium. Up at Giant Stadium on game day.
I should know this, but
I don't know either.
Texas.
Wow, there's so many fans coming out here. They're just spilling right out here under the door. To see what it looks like on game day. Yep, this is the crowd. It feels like to navigate through a crowd. Yum. Got ourselves out of that packet of mess. I almost got myself out of that. Wow, that was a thick cluster of humanity there. So I think the one thing you don't really see that often with what Americans do is Americans don't like to bunch up and gather in one spot unless it's for a sporting event. Then everybody gathers like by the herd load. Bridge is something else. Doing. Finally, okay, we cleared out. Got some space. Spread out here on this bike pathway with this waterway inlet coming in. Tells us to ride slowly. They put up so many apartment buildings near the center of the city. I think the so-called dream of buying a home in the suburbs has essentially evaporated. Nobody's believing in that myth anymore. Or it wasn't a myth, it was a pretty good idea until you realize that it's kind of a cartel that keeps prices high. Therefore, hey, how's it going? And yeah, people don't. Wow, that's a nice looking bridge. There's some beauty out here. Some beauty. Hey. 3 hits to the left. Yeah, that bridge. Yeah, look at that. Or almost nice. That was a good shot. Yep, got it. SS Muni. Here's something fairly meta. I'm taking a video of a guy taking a picture of me. We're all in the picture taking business. Funny, yeah? Anyway, now we're in the Mission Bay area. The only thing I know about this neighborhood is that Uber is here. I think Uber is here. Well, that's maybe not an exactly fair statement. I mean, Uber does connect something physical, does connect like cars to the internet. They deserve a better explanation than the one I've just given. Yeah. Great. Let's take a look at this neighborhood. This is a brand new neighborhood. Brand new neighborhoods look very square. Very square. Square and rectangle-ish. No rounded curves at all. Everything's a hard edge. Oh yeah, Mission Bay. China Basin. Why don't you go ask China? Don't ask me, ask China. Hey, I don't know. Would you want to live here? Comment below if you think that this would be a good neighborhood to live in. It does feel hard to say. Not feeling a lot of soul here. But what isn't soulless is this. There's a gym. Cool. Why is it nobody's using gym? So, can you see this? Outdoor gym. Not sure what I'm supposed to do at the outdoor gym. I need some inspiration. I'm back to biking again. All right, the Mission Bay neighborhood honestly looks like a gigantic tech campus, which is probably what they're aiming for. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Emeryville. Emeryville. This is UCSF, University of California, San Francisco. UCF has a very, well, I was right about the campus look. That makes sense now. Wow. All right, so UCSF is the medical school for what would be the medical school of Berkeley. That's the way I understand it. So I actually have no idea what happens inside. They have Genentech Hall, Mission Bay. Yeah, that's what I heard about it. It's involved in the whole biotech field. And up ahead is Chase Center. Chase Center is where the Golden State Warriors play. Golden State Warriors. So this campus is just divided amongst all these buildings in the city. It feels like the way that NYU is laid out. You got like a building, then you got the city, and you got another building. My goodness, this campus is huge. This campus is enormous. There's more buildings here. Looks like I ran out of time. No, what am I gonna do? Wow, funky buildings here. Okay, UCSF Medical Center at Mission Bay. Yeah, this is something else. This is enormous. I have underestimated the power of the University of California. I wonder what they're doing. Yeah, I wonder what could be going on in all these buildings. There's a ton of buildings. Man, must be people trying to find out ways to live forever. Technotopia. A lot of money goes into medicine because a lot of wealthy people don't want to die. They're willing to spend anything. And then on the other flip side, a lot of wealthy people who have died already, their foundations and their endowment funds probably make very generous donations in their memory to these organizations. So yeah, I can't explain. I get it. It's sort of like instead of like the Balinese that burn all their family's wealth in a great big bonfire. This is how people do it here. A little bit of that National Geographic idea. Different folks, different anthropology. Okay, we're getting to the very end of the Mission Bay area, for which there are some new buildings. Oh, there's some new buildings again. Man, this just doesn't end. Get on this track. Alrighty. Wow. Dog patch. It's like you can rent a kayak here or something. This is a really interesting area. The flight board. E-foils. The dog patch. Okay, this is a very kind of post-industrial area. The industry has abandoned this shipyard. Looks like it's been forgotten since like World War II. They got these old school cranes up there. Rather beautiful to look at in some ways. There's an ironworks company. Iron. Well, it used to be, this was the, yeah, I found it. This is the headquarters of Gusto. So this is probably one of my favorite buildings in the world. It's kept all its legacy, gigantic girders, steel cranes. Hopefully that was a fun ride and you got to see the city in a new, unusual way that you normally don't see on